Hello everybody, welcome back to the next episode of this CPP for School assignments, where we're basically going through all the labs in order on this website. And yeah, you can find them just right here at this site, cppforschool.com/assignments. And wow, this is kind of weird cut-off side, but basically we're up to set 3 now, and it looks like this is just one program. And it wants us to write a program that takes length as input and feet and inches, and then the program should convert the lengths into centimeters and display it on the screen. Assume that the given length in feet and inches are integers. Okay, so no fractions in the feet and integers. Okay. Based on the problem, you need to design an algorithm as follows. Get the length in feet and inches, convert the length into total inches, convert the total inches into centimeters, and then output the centimeters. Now it also mentions the formula is you need to multiply the total inches by 2.54. Instead of using 2.54 directly in the program, you declare it as a constant. And same thing you want to do for number of inches in feet, declare as a constant. So just some standard stuff that you should do in a program. And I guess we're going to learn a little bit about constants. And looks like it says to write the complete length conversion program, follow these steps. Begin a program with comments for documentation. I'm probably going to skip some of that since I'm talking about it here. Include header file, if any are used in the program, of course. That's a weird thing. Declare name constants, if any. Write the definition and function main. Include header files, if any are used in the program. This is an assumption. If you're using something, if you don't include it, you're going to get an error. So I don't know why they even state this, but I guess it's just because you're learning and maybe you forgot or something. But yeah, obviously, if you're using something, then you need to pull from a header. You have no option but to include it, or it just won't work. So that's kind of a weird step to say, like it's something you just need to do. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into our labs folder, and if we look at this, we know we don't have vars set 3 yet because well, we're just starting now. So we're going to do a make dir to make the directory vars set 3. We're going to go into vars set 3, and we're going to touch a main.cpp and a make file. And now we should see those. So we can do code on this folder, and that'll open Visual Studio Code for us. And we can get straight to business. So we can look at our main, look at our make file. On our make file, let's just make a default, and all it's going to do is compile with G++ and main.cpp. And then afterwards we will go ahead and just run it. So we run it right away. I think it's going to be called a.exe. So that, if we just type make, it'll compile our main, and then it will attempt to run it. So that just makes it a little easier once we're done here. Alright, so of course we're going to need IO stream, input output stream, and of course we need a main. Now we want to go ahead and put our constants in here. So we want, let's do a float. I'm going to do these in caps. Centimeters. Let me just look at these again to make sure I'm doing them right. Multiply total inches by 2.44. Yep. Very good. Centimeters, I'm just going to call it centimeters per inch, and that's going to equal 2.54. And it wants this to be a const, so what we can do here is just put a const in the front, right here. And we want another const float of, well, actually I think this one is going to be an integer. Yeah, this is an integer. This is basically going to be inches per foot. Inches per foot, and this of course is 12. There are 12 inches in a foot. So there we got our constants as it wanted us to do, and now we can just go ahead and write our program. We just need to take in a few things. We'll do some couts here. I could do using namespace standards, so I don't have to do this all the time, but I'm just used to doing it this way. so it'll be fine. So let's go ahead and ask, or we'll give a little documentation at the top of what the program does to the user, for the user when they run it. Converting feet, inches to centimeters. Put a new line there. We'll make it like we're really excited and put some exclamation points there. And then we want to do another one, and we'll just say enter feet, and then we'll do a CN of our feet. Of course, we need to declare the variable for feet, so we're going to do a integer feet. Now these constants I have outside the main, they can actually be in the main, since we're just going to operate all from the scope of this main here. So we'll just do that. We'll go ahead and put our feet up here. We'll go ahead and put inches up here. And we will default these to 0 when the program starts, just because we can. Go ahead and format that. And these are the wrong direction for CN, of course. And then we want to do a similar thing. I'm just going to copy these two lines real quick. I did that with, if you highlight something, press Control D, it copies it. So this one, we want to just say enter inches and inches. And then after that's all done, we want to go to our algorithm and process the rest. So let's see. If feet is greater than 0, it doesn't really mention a few things here, but basically we don't want to allow negative numbers, because that makes no sense. You can't be negative feet in length, really. That just makes no sense. So I'm going to put it, if feet is greater than 0, we're going to process. I'll say greater than or equal, just so it's not negative. It can be 0, though. That makes sense for it to be 0. And then we're just going to say, yeah, we'll just go through every foot and add 12 inches for every foot. So we'll just make a traditional for loop here, and we'll say int I equals 0 while I is less than the feet. Then we'll do I plus plus, and then we'll just do inches plus equals 12. So for every foot, we're going to add 12 inches to our little inches variable there. So we could do an else here and say, I don't know, anything. We could say, well, obviously if this skips this first one, then it's negative. So we could say something like, who taught you negative feet? I don't know, whatever. So that's just a random error message. You can put whatever you want, but that's just a way you can do a little notification with cout. And next, we just wanted to go ahead and do the conversion. So after this, we will have it all in inches. And down here below, we can go ahead and just convert that straight into centimeters. Excuse me. And to do that, well, you probably have already figured it out. We could just declare a float called final centimeters. I'll make it a little more explicit. Final centimeters equals, and this of course is going to be inches times 2.54, but we're not going to use 2.54. We're going to use this constant right here, and we shouldn't use 12 right here. We should use this inches per foot. And when I format this, it should fix my spacing. Inches plus equals inches per foot. Now, rather than do it like this, rather than have this in a for loop, you could just do something. This might actually be better. Either will work. You could do inches plus equals, and then you could do inches per foot here times feet. So you could just do it all in one go here. It'll be 12 times the number of feet, and we're going to add that to the inches. So that may be better than a for loop. Either way is fine, I think, in this case. And there we go. So we'll do it this way. I kind of like this way. Going through a for loop is a bit unnecessary. Then we get our final centimeters. There's got to be something here if you think about it, because well, they could have entered. I suppose we should make sure they're not entering in negative inches here too. So we'll do an or we're doing and inches greater than equal to 0. So just to make sure they don't put in a negative. That's often very important. Usually you just want to have a base checker on any function you do to make sure you're not taking in illegal variables, or just straight up don't allow negative or invalid stuff. Depends on your program. So that'll just take care of that whole thing. And of course we want to return so it doesn't keep going if we do that. That way it doesn't try to do the rest of this. Alright, so that'll give us our final centimeters, and we're actually done. This is it. I'm just going to copy this down here, give it a new message. The final, well, we could format this a little bit to make it a little nicer. So we'll say like, let's see, feet. There's other ways of formatting I might talk about later, but I'm just keeping it as simple as possible right now. So we'll say X amount of feet and X amount of inches. Equals whatever centimeters. We'll just say it like that. Equals final centimeters. I'm apparently spelling this wrong. There we go. And we'll put a new line there. And then we'll return 0. And we're done. Yeah, that should run. So we'll go ahead and just do our make, and it should compile it and then run it. It looks like we got a return it doesn't like. It's this. We'll return 0. And we'll just, actually, we will return -1 to show an error. Obviously, it's not going to really make a difference here. Converting feet/inches to centimeters. Enter feet. I don't know. Let's go with my height. I'm about 6 foot even. So let's see how that works. Oopsie. Looks like okay. So this looks a little weird because I'm converting all these feet to inches, and it's just doubling up sort of. So obviously I don't really want to do that. So maybe I should take a new variable for like new inches here. So we'll say int inches of feet or something like that. And we'll start it out as 0, and we'll just put that here. And then in this final one, we'll add both of them together. Inches plus inches of feet. So we'll add those together first, and then we'll multiply it. And that should give us a more correct output. So 6 foot 0. And there we go. So someone that is 6 foot tall even is 182.88 centimeters tall. So that's apparently how tall I am. Let's just run one more test just to make sure. Let's say we want to calculate 2 feet and about 5 inches and see what that turns out. 73. Yeah, that seems about right. We could just real quick go to Google here and do a feet and inches to centimeters and get a little conversion thing here and say, hey, if I'm 6 foot tall, what is that? And it's 188. As you can see, we've done it correctly, and we are done with this question. So thank you for tuning into this episode. Hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit if you're new to coding and trying to figure out how to flow things and how to control variables a little bit. And we'll continue on in the next episode. Have a good day.